Okay. Start with the first basic question. Um, are you religious?
No.
And why?
Um, because religion makes it's always made me feel kind of uncomfortable because it feels like something that's been forced onto me since I was little. Um, like my parents trying to take me to temple, and um, it's just like a whole big ordeal, especially with. I mean, I don't really know a lot about Christianity, but with Judaism, for me, it feels like a big like people dressing up and like their crazy curls, and I'm like, what is all of this? And it just that part of it felt like a lot, and then the whole like people being super intolerant of other people because of it, with like, and that's less with Judaism, I guess, but with Christianity, they have all their morals from the Bible and all that make people really intolerant of other people.
Um, so even though you already just said that, what religion are
Jewish.
Okay. And to what extent are they involved in that religion?
Um, my dad is more of an atheist. He'll call himself that now, but he still respects Judaism and he'll still observe it if when my family like has Passover and stuff. Um, my mom, she likes temple and she likes the Jewish holidays, she likes Passover, that kind of stuff. Um, I think she feels more obligated because my grandma was in the Holocaust and everything, so I think she feels kind of an obligation to respect it, if not in a religious sense, but in like a cultural sense.
So you're saying that she's really religious then, or she's just,
She's mildly religious. She definitely respects it and she likes it.
did she try to like spread it at all?
No, not at all. Although I think she would like me to marry someone Jewish.
Wow.
Um, she it means more to her than she'll let on. I think I think she does take Judaism at least more seriously than she'll talk about, just because it actually does mean something to her for me to marry someone Jewish, and I think it makes her a little uncomfortable that I'm not religious.
Why do you mean something that you would marry someone Jewish?
Um, I'm not sure. I don't know what the pull is. It doesn't really make much sense to me.
Have you talked to her about it?
I've asked her, said why does that mean anything to you? And she just kind of says that just because it's like our history and the whole our people, that kind of deal. And I'm not sure what that is for her.
Are you yourself still involved in any of the Jewish practices and whatnot? And holidays and all?
I'll go to the Passover. That's really the only Jewish holiday my family does anything. Passover is the only one that we really observe. I mean
About
Hanukkah.
that.
Huh?
That's a little bit.
Yeah, Hanukkah. Oh yeah, I think we do that. We just go over to my aunt's house and just like eat. I mean, I'll go. It doesn't. Obviously, I don't even really know. I don't pay attention. I never have paid that much attention. It just never meant that much to me. But
Even when you're a kid?
yeah. Um, when I was a kid, though, it felt more like I felt bad for not caring. And that's probably part of the reason that I'm more passionate about not being religious now because like it felt like they were trying to make me feel bad for not liking it.
They tried to, or they were making it do that, or you just felt that
It was both. My mom would get mad at me for not liking Temple. So that was definitely like a resentful thing. I was like, why should I have to like this? And I felt bad for not liking Temple until I realized that it's not, I have to like it. But
do you think that's also something like with school, like you don't like it, but you feel bad, so you try to do well at something? Or is
yeah,
it because you really don't believe in what's going on there and you felt bad for not performing?
I think it's a little bit. I mean, obviously, like you need education, but there's there's always like a social aspect of it that
Of junior or
school where yeah, I mean definitely I can relate because like that's actually yeah no that's like a good it's a good analogy. Not everyone fits in. You kind of feel bad if you don't.
but you had about mitzvah. So why'd you go through
Because I thought that I would regret it later in life if I didn't. Like
that? Why is that?
I was convinced that it was like this horrible thing that I didn't feel religious and that I just didn't have any interest in it. Like I was really down on myself about that. And so I thought, well, later in life, I will be religious and it'll be fine. And I, will understand why everyone's so into it. And I'll be so mad at myself that I don't have a bar mitzvah, so I should have a bar mitzvah. So,
And when you're going through it or after, did you feel like that helped you with that? Like you feel relieved that you went through it?
I felt relieved once it was over because I was done having to study and everything. But I didn't really feel a sense of accomplishment like I thought I would. I just kind of felt like, well, that's over, and I didn't get out of it what I thought I would, unfortunately.
Did your family come around?
Yeah, for sure. I'm not sure about my dad, but my mom was definitely really, really proud of me. My grandma was still lucid at that point. She was really proud of me.
So with the rest of your family, like besides your immediate family, how religious you are?
My extended family is pretty religious. My aunt she sends her two daughters, my younger cousins, the cousins I'm closest to, they go to a religious school they have for like all of elementary school and middle school. They take like the Bible classes there, and they know Hebrew really well. And there was like one time I was talking to them, and it was something about marrying somebody, and we got on the topic of whether or not we would make our kids have a bar mitzvah, and I said that I wouldn't because I don't think I wouldn't make them. Yeah, I wouldn't make them. If they wanted to, then I'd let them. And they were like so surprised and like they were almost like angry. They're like, what do you mean you wouldn't make them? Like, what? That's so like mean. And I'm like
mean?
Yeah.
Why would you say?
Because they were under the impression that like, when you're 12, 13, you can't make that choice on your own. You should be forced to because you'll regret it later if you don't. And so that was really weird for me to hear my 12 and 13-year-old cousins saying that. But my aunt's she's really religious. She doesn't